Congresswoman Tlaib,
Fox News. I don't talk to Fox News.
at a rally in your district, people were chanting "Death to America." Do you condemn?
Talk to Fox News.
Do you condemn chants of "Death to America"?
This should be a no-brainer. This should be a slam dunk. It should be a layup at the very least if you can't get up over the rim. You saw that video of the guy in Dearborn, Michigan, who was screaming "Death to America, death to Israel." And I know, he's just a pro-Palestinian demonstrator, right? He's certainly not pro-Hamas. He's certainly not pro-terrorist. He's certainly not anti-American. He's just leading chants of death to Israel and death to America. Well, those protesters were actually in Rashida Tlaib's district in Dearborn, Michigan. And Jesse Kelly yesterday analyzed what her reaction is to her voters, her constituents, her citizens screaming for the death of our country. This should be a no-brainer. This should be a slam dunk. It should be a layup at the very least if you can't get up over the rim. To be able to say, as much as I sympathize with their concern over what's going on in Gaza, this is the greatest country on earth. After all, I'm a congresswoman for this country. And the last thing we should ever approve of is someone chanting "Death to America." That's not hard at all. So let's see how Rashida Tlaib did.
Fox News alert: over the weekend, a group of pro-Hamas protesters chanted "Death to America" at a Ramadan rally in Dearborn, Michigan.
الموت لأمريكا! الموت لأمريكا! الموت لأمريكا!
Not a great look. The mayor condemned it. The White House condemned it. But what about Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib? She reps Dearborn. Is she okay with her constituents chanting "Death to America"? Fox Business correspondent Hillary Vaughn asked her. Watch.
Congresswoman Tlaib,
Fox News. I don't talk to Fox News.
at a rally in your district, people were chanting "Death to America." Do you condemn?
Talk to Fox News.
Do you condemn chants of "Death to America"?
I don't talk to people that use racist tropes.
Why can't you just say whether or not you condemn people chanting "Death to America"? Why are you afraid to talk to Fox?
Fox News is not listen, using racist tropes towards my community is what Fox News is about, and I don't talk to Fox News.
Is "Death to America" racist?
Fox News.
Is chanting "Death to America" racist?
Talking about your guys' racist tropes. You know, you guys know exactly what you do. I know you're Islamophobic, but you guys got to go deal with it on your own self. You're not going to use me.
Oh, well, that clears things up. I just won't talk to Fox News because you guys are racist. Since you're the queen of spotting racism wherever it may rear its head, do you think the guy standing in the streets of your district screaming "Death to Israel" may have some hate issues himself, ma'am? Of course, we know that she supports that guy. She probably wrote his speech. And she, by the way, is one of the most powerful Democrats in Congress right now because she's the one who's convincing Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer, for that matter, to abandon Israel. Because all they care about, and I mean all they care about, is winning the next election. Because winning the next election keeps them in power. I wish my political party was this craven in their quest for political power. Because let's face it, if you don't have political power in this country, you can't get anything done. And like it or not, Democrats get that better than anyone else. And yes, if it means throwing Israel under the bus, Joe Biden will do it in a heartbeat if that means winning Michigan. The problem is there's plenty of voters, not just in Michigan, but all across this country, who find this so vile and despicable. Josh Hawley represents many of those voters in the state of Missouri in the United States Senate. And I'm sure you saw that video yesterday of Code Pink protesters trying to shut down the cafeteria in the Senate office building and protesting through the streets. They were arrested. I don't think they were thrown in jail like January 6th protesters, but before they were arrested, Josh Hawley walked straight into that crowd and confronted them. Watch.
China money. You're funded by China.
Probably all of it. What about the Uyghurs? Are the Uyghurs, is that genocide? Are the Uyghurs a genocide? Are the Uyghurs a genocide?
I'm going to have a lawsuit against you. You understand
Okay,
that?
will you condemn Beijing for that? Will you stop taking what? You don't know. Oh, you're not here about Beijing. The greatest authoritarian regime in the world. And you won't speak against it? You won't speak against it? Do you condemn Beijing? You'll stop taking their money? Call on your organization to stop taking their money.
All genocide.
Oh, I am focused on
Really? What are you
Israel.
focusing on?
I'm focused on
You're not
defending the state of
focusing on-
Israel from people like
It's
you
not
who want to
defense.
destroy
It's
it.
not
Great to see you guys. I hope you're getting this. Holocaust deniers. Oh, no, yeah, funded China money. This is China money talking right here. The Uyghur deniers, the Holocaust deniers, all right here. Right here.
He's a Holocaust survivor.
You are-
He's a Holocaust
And you would create
survivor.
another one with your current position.
Yes, you are creating another
No,
one right
you
now.
would be with
No,
your
you're
current
creating a
position.
Holocaust in Gaza.
You are.
Yes,
No,
you
this is
are.
totally
You are
false.
supporting
And it's
genocide.
China money. That's you people are funded by China. You're funded by what they're doing. All of it. You're China defenders.
That's great stuff, and good for Josh Hawley for doing that. By the way, that one guy, she kept saying he's a Holocaust survivor. You know, the Holocaust was, what, 79 years ago? 1945 was 79 years ago. So if he's a Holocaust survivor, I mean, does he look over 80? I mean, he looks younger than Joe Biden, who's 81. I don't want to steal his valor or anything if he is a Holocaust survivor. I'm guessing he was born in the concentration camps, but that's fine. I wanted to bring up one other point here. Do you see how they all have red on their hands? They put red paint on their hands. This has become a thing now for the pro-terrorist protesters. They have, and I guess they're trying to say, you have blood on your hands. You have blood on your hands. Blood on your hands. And when they've been protesting all around Washington, D.C., at the Lincoln Memorial, at the gates of the White House, they leave these red paint handprints everywhere because they're vandals. And this is supposed to be some sort of big symbol of shame that they have this red, because you have blood on your hands because of your support of Israel. It's funny, I saw those red hands from the pro-Hamas protesters, and it actually reminded me of something, and I found it here. You see that image, that red blood print, handprint right there? See that? That's actually on the wall of a house at a kibbutz from October 7th, when Hamas massacred innocent Israelis. And in that kibbutz, one of the family members who was slaughtered by Hamas left that bloody handprint on the wall in their terror. It's pretty ironic that the protesters in favor of and on the side of those Hamas terrorists have now taken to celebrating the bloody handprint that reminds most of us of the actual death, terror, murder, and destruction that their pals, the Hamas terrorists, carried out. But even more despicable than those protests in Washington, D.C., was this one in Berkeley, California. This is at the private home of Dean Erwin Chemerinsky, who is a left-wing liberal Democrat. His major claim to fame 20 years ago, Erwin Chemerinsky, was to defend the terrorists in Guantanamo Bay who had been captured on the battlefield in the war on terror post 9/11. Did I say in the 90s? I meant in the mid-2000s. I'm sorry if I said in the 90s. He actually represented those terrorists pro bono and sued the U.S. government from keeping them in Gitmo. Okay, so that's who Erwin Chemerinsky is in terms of whose side he's been on in the past. And at his home, he was having a party for recent graduates of the UC Berkeley Law School, because he's the dean of the law school at Berkeley now. And one of his guests brought herself a microphone and a speaker system into his house and began her own private demonstration for the cameras
Hello, everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings upon you all. Tonight, we are gathered here in the name of commemorating our final few weeks as law students.
This is my house.
Tonight is also the last night of the holy month of Ramadan, where millions of Muslims around the world fast, not only from
You're my
material
guest. Please
sustenance,
leave my house.
fast not only from material sustenance,
Please leave my house.
fast. We have attorneys. We have attorneys.
Okay, you don't have to get
Excuse me.
I'm not
Please
Please
touch me.
leave our house. You are guests at our house.
This is our First Amendment right.
No,
This is our
this
First
is my
Amendment.
house.
It is.
The First
The
Amendment
National
doesn't
Lawyers
apply.
Guild has informed us this is our First Amendment right.
We're going to watch this play out because, boy, this is not if this isn't a perfect example of the beast that you have created and fed, the Frankenstein monster that you encouraged, Erwin Chemerinsky, now coming back and trying to destroy you. But before we let this play out and we enjoy eating our popcorn as we watch the Schadenfreude take place in front of us, can we just pause for a second and reflect on the terrifying reality that a graduate from the UC Berkeley School of Law believes that she has a First Amendment right to go into someone's private property in their backyard with a microphone and say whatever the hell she wants against his wishes? And she keeps saying, I have a First Amendment right. You don't have a First Amendment right to come onto somebody else's property and say whatever you want, especially when they clearly are asking you to leave. This is what you learned at Con Law 101 at UC Berkeley? Actually, probably this is what she learned in Con Law 101 at UC Berkeley because it was probably taught by Erwin Chemerinsky. Okay.
And they are aware of this. They're not wrong.
This is my house.
This is my house, and you're no longer welcome here.
You are not welcome.
Okay, you can call the police.
No, I don't.
You can call
prefer
the
to.
police. I'm getting a
Please
speech.
stop touching her. Just please leave. If you don't want to be here, leave my house.
Manhandling our students.
Please leave my house if you don't want to be here. This is, you're my guest in
You
my
are not
house.
invited for this purpose.
We are talking about Ramadan and the holy month of Ramadan as Muslim students. We refuse to break our fast on the blood of Palestinian people. The UC has committed sending $2 billion to weapons manufacturers. I know, and we're just giving a speech about Ramadan and the holy
Please
month.
leave my
If you
house.
can grab me the mic back, I will leave.
Good. Okay.
But will you please give me the
Give
mic?
the mic.
Please, will you give me the
Please
mic
leave.
back? Let me turn it off.
Please turn it off. And
I'll
please
turn
leave
it
my
off.
house.
This is
You're
a
not a guest.
party.
You're a guest in my
And
house.
I know,
my
but 40,000
home.
people are dying.
I can't
40,000
stop that.
Palestinian peoples are dying.
This
And
If you don't
your
wish to be
husband,
here,
who is
please
the
leave
dean
my
of the
house.
law
Yeah.
school, is
You're
giving
welcome.
$2 million to
Please
weapons
leave our house.
manufacturers. I encourage
It
everyone
is
here
incredibly
to
rude
not
of
break
you
your fast
to
on the blood
abuse
of
our
Palestinian
hospitality
people
in this way.
and join us in walking out.
There's a genocide going on. There's a genocide.
Then don't
And you
come
haven't done
here.
us- You haven't done anything about divestment.
Please leave
You have
my
not done
house.
anything about divestment.
I don't.
You've not done anything about divestment because they're demanding that UC Berkeley divest from Israel. Remember when a few years ago we were here telling you that the divestment BDS movement on college campuses was nothing more than trying to hurt Israel, support Hamas terrorists. And we were saying, oh, that's outrageous. No, they just wanted to get college money out of it. No. This is who they are. This is the divestment and the BDS movement. Also, do you notice they all have their keffiyehs, their terrorist cosplay scarves? They were hidden in their purses, and then they all brought them out and put them on when the moment arose. This was all planned and pre-programmed. They had their camera waiting. They brought their microphone. It's disgusting, but it's also hilarious because, again, this is the Frankenstein monster beast that Erwin Chemerinsky has single-handedly created. And hey, it's Berkeley, man. It's Berkeley. It's not like they're Ben Shapiro or something.
Invest in anything. I'm not going to argue with you. This is a party. The law school's not
The
invested
Council on
in
American
anything.
Islamic Relations, SF, will be hearing how you pulled a Muslim woman's scarf during Ramadan. Putting your hands on my hijab is unacceptable.
Oh, you missed that part. The Council of American Islamic Relations will be hearing from you about how you pulled a Muslim woman's headscarf during the month of Ramadan. God, the entitlement of these people. I'm going to come into your home as your guest. I'm going to disrupt the party. I'm going to piss everybody off. But if you touch my headscarf, that's it. You'll hear from my people. And guess what? Again, CARE will support her. The ACLU will support her. If pressed, if Joe Biden thinks he's about to lose California, if this woman's from Michigan, Joe Biden's going to come out on her side. If she's from California, it doesn't matter really because, there's no loss there. But, oh boy, if she was born in Dearborn, it's over. Good. Sorry, Chemerinsky, you're not getting that federal court nomination.
By grabbing my arm,
my
you will
home.
hear from CARESF.
course,
You
I
will
would be
hear from
happy to
Cal-Legal.
speak to
And the
them.
fact that your wife was able to assault a Muslim Palestinian hijabi student is
She
not
grabbed
great.
her.
Please
Instead of
leave
leaving
our house.
We are
Please
leaving.
leave our house now.
This
We
is
are
not
leaving.
your
We are
place.
leaving.
This
We're
is
leaving.
my home.
I had a
invited
home
you.
in Palestine too, and
I am
people took it as
sorry.
well.
There it is. That's the American left right now. That's who they are, and that's who's been created, empowered, elevated, platformed, and celebrated by Erwin Chemerinsky, the political left, the Marxists, academia, the media, the pop culture, the entertainment industry, and of course the Democratic Party and Joe Biden. And here's the thing. They're all anti-Israel. And all those people I just mentioned, hey, they're down for the cause. Absolutely. That's wonderful. Go ahead, go after Israel. We don't like them either. They seem like white Europeans. They're colonialists. And besides, they're pretty conservative, it seems. I think they liked Trump over there in Israel. So go for it. Go ahead. But see, that beast that they've created, that monster, it's not going to stomp at Israel. Every single bastion of higher learning and cultural elitism and power in this country are next on the target list. And the only other surprise that's going to come when this story plays out the way it seems to be playing for the political left is that woman, the woman who was giving the speech at UC Berkeley, who claims that she has a home in Palestine, wherever that is, and that she's from those territories. The only really amusing irony at the end of this whole storyline is that that woman, when she goes back to what she claims to be her homeland, she will not be allowed to practice law. That very expensive law degree she got at UC Berkeley that I'm guessing the Iranians paid for, she will not be welcome to do anything in society, really, because Hamas and the Palestinian Authority, they're not your friends either, young lady. You'll be pining for the days of good old Berkeley, California. Something tells me she won't be going back home anytime soon.